What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV. Now, a week ago, I tweeted you I was on my way back to the country. What I forgot is that I didn't have anything to film on. So, welcome back to a new season of Midweek Musings with me, Nicky Hawkins, of course. This is a show where I pick you 3 questions to answer. I have a go myself, and you guys get chipped in as well. So without further ado, you're going to see me looking down a lot because the computer's down now. Let's get right into this video. Now, question number 1. After a new season, last week, obviously, I was in Mexico. Chicharito left the club. There's a lot of talk about him now. Number 1, was it right under the circumstances to let Chicharito leave the club? I think it was the right decision, if I'm honest. I've never really connected with Chicharito as a player. I don't think he tries hard enough. I don't think he got involved with the fans. I think he thought a little bit that it was too good to be there. And, you know, after the 3 managers that he played under, none of them really fancied him. He was on a lot of money, like £140,000 a week. Everyone thought he was going to be the goal scorer that we was missing. That being said, we have left ourselves a little short on strikers. But if rumours are to be believed, with Mario Mandzukic maybe possibly making a January move, as long as we keep everyone fit until there, we've got a Yeti. I'm quite happy with that. A lot of money for a second, third choice striker. As I said, I don't think he worked hard enough. He was a goal scorer, but unfortunately, he didn't really fit into our system. I see people blaming the board. To be honest with you, as I said, I always call a spade, and I think it was the right thing to do at the end of the day to let him leave, to free up some more wages. We've saved a lot of money on wages, gives us a little bit of scope in January to go out and get someone else possibly. Right, let's get involved. This is the main thing. Let's get you guys involved. JP, WHFTV says, business, yes. Football, no. Dino 88 says, yes, massive wages, and we've got a decent fee. Silva will be back in October, and we need to bring him through. Chicha off the scene like he couldn't be asked. Silva will be the effort. We'll put the effort in. Lee Fall, big risk, but the offer and the chance to take £145,000 a week from the wage bill was too good to turn down. We have enough in the squad to compensate and try different systems to mitigate the risk. Forbes, from a business perspective, this is a great deal for the club, but in football terms, no. He proved many times when we needed him, he's come in and scored. Prime example, Brighton away this season. Everyone's been quick to say, yeah, Yeti is better, but haven't seen that guy play. Stuart Leach, 100% should have. It didn't want to be here. I know he didn't complain, but all that striker needs is more game time. Canadian Hammer just says plainly no. Greg Hobbs, yes, I'm sure he wanted. I'm not sure he ever wanted to be here, but didn't try enough for me. And he went AWOL more than once off the wage bill. Thanks. There's the door. The Fat American says, yes, wish him all the best. Wasn't fit for the club and he deserves the minutes. Joe Lampard 2 says, absolutely yes. James, WHUFC Jones is correct to let him go. Aging player who hasn't got long on his contract. So instead of leaving for free, we've got a reasonable fee to invest with in January. Only concern is injuries, but I think this squad has goals in it. Couple of youth players can come through too. So pretty much, there's loads, 28 people. Most of them are just saying, yes, it was the right thing to let him go. Thank you for getting involved in that, guys. If I didn't read your comment, please get involved more. I'll just read them as they come in. Number 2, just before the international break, after a great August, has your expectations for the season been altered, or are you still sceptical? They have a little bit. I said we would finish about 8th. Now, look, I fell into traps last year where, I'm over-egging where we're going to finish and things like that. But there are signs in this team that this could be a special season. Now, I'm not going to say it too loudly. I'm not going to start shouting it from the rooftops. But Haller's come in and done brilliantly off the bat. That's what we needed. We needed a striker to come in off the bat because, we're short of strikers. And he started scoring goals. Obviously, we got battered by Manchester City, but there ain't many teams this season that ain't going to get battered by Manchester City. And we've gone about our business. Didn't play well at Brighton with no Haller. And that's the key for me, is keeping Haller fit, because when he's in the side, we look a better team. And we struggled a little bit at Brighton, got probably an undeserved draw. They deserved to beat us on the day. But since then, the Norwich game, we played really well. The Watford game, we played really well. And the key to that is we're playing well. We're looking dangerous going forward. There is still question marks about the defence, but the test will come like a little bit late. We've got Manchester United coming up in the next week or so, after the Villa game, and then the teams around us is the real test for us mentally, is like the Leicesters, the Wolves, the Evertons and things like that. So if we can get results against them and continue to pick up results against the teams that are expected to finish lower in the table, this could be a very special season. And that's without the one or two scalps that we normally get at a season against the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Man Uniteds, the Tottenhams and all that sort of stuff. So let's say it quietly, but it could be a good season. Let's see what you guys think. JPWHUTV says, I still think we'll finish 9th. Dino88 says, I think we'll do okay as long as the team works hard. Dango851, I think August was defo better than last season, but I'm sceptical if we can keep being consistent. Knowing us, we'll lose against Villa and smash United, but I hope we destroy Villa and do United and keep up your good form. Lee Ford says, our biggest threat to 7th will be Leicester or Everton. Wolves will not manage the Europa League and the Premier League as well. We've seen from Burnley and Everton result. Stuart Leach 16 says, before start season, I said we're going to do well so far. We're doing great. Couldn't ask for any more, really. Greg Hobbs says, still early days in the season, performed much better against Norwich. However, I'm still not sure on some of Pellegrini's starting selection and subs in the game. The Fat American, not sceptical at all. I said this season could be crazy, similar to 15-16, with the table having some shifts. So far, I'm correct. We can get top 8 easily, I think. I'd like to see 6. Who knows, though? James Edrup says, it's West Ham. I'm always sceptical. Good point there, James. Jay Ailing says, 7th is the goal. 7th is the goal. Dean Joe Morris says, win some difficult away games, Villa, Sheffield, Arsenal, then I'll stand up. Lackmore says, I'm still sceptical. Ryan Horn says, great start. I want us in Europe. Like all West Ham fans, we've taken advantage on teams dropping points. Need to keep doing that. Mark Allen says, not sceptical but realistic. Too early to say much other than we've beaten a team we beat last year in Watford, drew with Brighton, which is an improvement, and beat a newly promoted side who haven't improved their squad. I'd still be happy with 8th, but I want a cup run. WHU Mike says, think you still need to be sceptical with West Ham's consistency has never been a strong point. Feeling confident that the team can give anyone a game, would still prefer a cup run than European place, though. Yeah, pretty much people are still sceptical. We're West Ham fans, we're going to be sceptical. Right, the third one is something that was rumbling a little bit last week. And I have spoke about this on Musings. This is Musings on the live shows. Right, so 3 are independent West Ham sites such as KUMB, West Ham Fan TV, Hammers Chat, Irons United, Iron Views, or whatever it was called, Free Hammers, Claret and Hugh, and all that sort of thing, seen as part of the media. And should we be allowed the same access as, say, newspapers? Some debate in this while I've been away, so let's chip in. This is it's a bit of a strange one for me. I can see people's point of view in the fact that, some of the people that have been complaining, I know Graham at KUMB's been complaining this week, and rightly so, because he's had some more access pulled away from him. And Hammers Chat. Now, they've both had media access. Us at West Ham Fan TV, we've never had media access. It's not overly important for us, although I would like to send a guy into a press conference every now and then so we can do video reactions to it and all that sort of thing. It's not overly important. Our importance comes from the fans, because that's what we're here for. We're here to talk to the fans, and the minute we sort of abandon that, we start to lose what we are. That being said, there could be times when we could go in there and do pieces of content and things like that, and we haven't been invited or we haven't been thought of or whatever, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? What I would say is on the subject is, although it would be nice to get invited to something every now and then so we can make some content for the channel, I wouldn't want to damage or put into, what's the word, without being rude, I wouldn't want to put our integrity at the mercy of the club, because we are proudly independent, we are proudly pro-fan, we're not against the ball or against the club or anything like that, but we like to say things how we see them. And West Ham have got I think that's why KUMB got banned this week, is something to do with, it was something to do with unnecessary negativity. It depends how you see it, you know what I mean? You can't try to oppress people's opinions. If they don't think the club's working well, they don't think the club's working well, which has hindered their media access. If the club asked me to not say something because, potentially we could get an interview with Pellegrini or Lanzini or whatever, or there was a fan cam and they said, we don't like that, that's unnecessarily negative, if you don't take it down, then, we won't grant you the access to this. No, I'm all right, thanks. You know what I mean? They can shove their media access up their arse. But in terms of, but this is the thing, right? So they'll ask you that, but they allow newspapers in, and we know what newspapers are, who will dig up stories and make up stories about the club and all that to get views or sell papers, which I find baffling, that they would allow them people to come in, but they sort of repel fans away, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I would say we are part of the media, but we're not going to be treated as such, not just yet anyway. There's a few more years to go before we do get started treating as such. But anyway, let's see what you guys had to say, because I know there's been a lot of debate over the last couple of weeks. It's a shame you boys don't get that. This is Dango851. It's a shame you boys don't get the access you deserve when it comes to current player interviews and all-round credibility for what you've done for the fans. You do a lot, boys, and I'm grateful that my dad was die-hard and used to watch your stuff before he passed. Sorry to hear about your dad, Dango. Thank you for messaging. Means a lot. Lee Ford says, independent West Ham sites provide as much value as mainstream media do, sometimes even more. There is an argument to say you don't necessarily need it, but would you certainly help boost the independent sites if you were given, for which I am given, independent, if it were given, for which I am all for, given the hard work. Okay. Chris Bradley says, I don't think you'll be able to speak as freely as you currently do, which is something that I would echo what Chris has just said. JP WHFTV, we are referred to, he runs a channel himself, we are referred to for our thoughts on what's happening, so I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we're treated as such, although this will be a big debate for a long time to come. Stuart Leach, you guys should definitely be allowed in. You do a better job than newspapers all day long. Greg Hobbs, it would be good for social media groups to be there, so we are kept more in a loop on things. Under the current regime, from what I've seen, there is no freedom of speech. We won't change till they're gone. Shame, really. The club only want written what they want. That's true. No, not at the same time. Not the same as the media, in inverted commas. Though access to players would be nice. Press accreditation is there for a reason. Maybe it could be extended to include social media at some point. That was Joe Lampard too. The Fat American. I think independent media sites should be given a lot more access than they get. No reason not to, as long as they can stay independent and not become mouthpieces for the club. Hint, hint. Jamie Gill says 100% they should be given more access because they are fans of the club and would appreciate the chance to speak to players, managers, etc. more than journalists who have no connection with the club. They are normally more reliable. I want to try and see if I can find any people that disagree. Andy Smith says, no, not if it means losing integrity. If you had the freedom to conduct your content any way you want, then great. But if it came monitored and almost forced to become a club mouthpiece, then no. Jess Apple WHUFC, Apple says WHUFC, independent sites is the way forward. Same access should be provided at accredited sites by the club. You cannot allow access to all sites, has to be controlled. I want to find some ones that don't agree. I did see some. Okay, we've got some here. Double-edged sword, I guess, says Claret and Big Blue Devils. Would it be nice? But you know, social media, as soon as you get a press pass, you'll get those who react like you're in bed with the owners. As soon as you say something they don't like or slightly supportive of the club. Dark Matter says independent sides are good as they are. Mainstream media outlets are dying because they no longer grounded in reality. I like this. I like that this channel is relatable. What is access? Your access should always remain independent on your own terms. The numbers will follow the trends. Dango85 says, 851 says, my opinion is no, as the media have their own agenda, whereas the likes of you boys just want to tell the news how it is and then ask us, the average Joe, our views on matters at hand. I don't follow the mainstream bollocks, but West Ham, as it's short and biased, but you guys are the tits. I sort of agree with that. It would be nice to have some sort of access when it comes to certain things, but not at a price for our independence, if you know what I mean. Thank you very much for watching this. Thanks for supporting the channel. I've seen a lot of you subscribing. You know, our subscribers are going up. We're chasing 50k, so if you can. We've got a new T-shirt out. If you can see that, the Vote Mark Noble for Prime Minister. That will only be in the store for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's going to be taken out of the store. So if you want one of them, go and get one now. There is a new batch of T-shirts coming, added to the batch of T-shirts that we've already got. Go and click on the link in the description down below if you want to grab a T-shirt from there. There's some excellent designs there. Sold very, very well, so we thank you for that. Thanks for, you know, having me back, I suppose. I'm back. I'll be back for all sorts of content. I'll be going to Villa on Monday. So, yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. One thing left to say, come on, you Irons.